Sunday night football. It doesn't get much better as the Chicago Bears take on the San Francisco 49ers in the Bay Area. The over-under set at 50.5. Niners a slight 3-point favorite. So Vegas starting to come around on the Bears, considering they're only a 3-point dog on the road. Now, they do have a 2-day rest advantage. That's worth mentioning. They played Saturday night. Niners played Monday night in Indianapolis, similar cross-country flight. So we'll see if the Bears can take advantage of that. But a huge game with huge stakes here on Sunday Night Football. All right, if you want the Bears to win and get closer to the number 1 seed, hit that like button. The Bears guarantee themselves at least the number 2 seed if they are able to win this football game. So if you want the Bears to win and perhaps have a chance at the 1 seed in Week 18, go ahead and like this video. All right, here is where the playoff picture sits heading into this game. Now, if you're watching this after the Christmas games or after the Saturday games, some minor things could change with Detroit. If they lose, they could be eliminated, or if Green Bay wins, Detroit could be eliminated. So a couple things could get tinkered with, but you guys get the gist. The Bears own the 2 seed, and if they win out, they're guaranteed the 2 seed. If they win one game, they're guaranteed the 2 seed. So it'd be nice to at least get this one done. So what is at stake overall? If the Bears win, they're guaranteed NFC North champs and the 2 seed. If the Packers lose on Saturday, by the way, and if you're watching this Sunday, that may have already happened. They play the Ravens. Then the Bears are guaranteed division champs. Now, they aren't guaranteed the 2 seed yet because if Philadelphia were to win out and the Bears were to lose out, the Eagles could get the 2 and the Bears would get the 3, but they would be guaranteed a top 3 seed. Obviously, if the Bears win their final 2 games, they could get the number 1 overall seed if Seattle were to lose one of their 2 final games. For San Francisco, if they win out, not only are they the NFC West champs, they get the number 1 seed in the NFC. They control their destiny to the number 1 seed. Why is that? Because they play Seattle next week, who they beat earlier in the year. They're 1 game back. So if they beat Seattle again and they have the same record, San Francisco jumps Seattle in the division and therefore gets the number 1 seed because that's where Seattle sits right now. Okay, here are some team stats for each team. The Bears, 10th in scoring, just under 26 points per game. They keep climbing up in points allowed. They're up to 19th now, giving up about 23.5 points. The turnover margin, which has been huge all year, plus 21, leads the NFL by, I think, 5 or 6. Third down offense, 6th in the NFL, just under 43%. Third down defense has slipped a bit. They're 13th now at 38.7% conversion rate allowed. For the 49ers, 9th in scoring. So the Bears and Niners flipped this week because San Francisco scored 48 points against the Colts. They're now up to 26.1 points per game. They're 12th in scoring defense, just over 21 a game. Despite that, they are not great in the turnover margin. They are -4. So I think that is where the Bears have a huge advantage here. If they can win the turnover battle, they'll have a good chance at winning this game. Niners have been awesome on third down, 2nd in the NFL. They convert half the time. Defensively, middle of the pack, give up third down 39% of the time. In the red zone, the Bears are right in the middle, 16th. They score touchdowns 59% of the time. They climbed up big time red zone defense because the Packers were 0 for 5 in the red zone this past week in scoring touchdowns. So Bears now up to 9th there. 49ers are 8th at 63.3% in scoring touchdowns, 18th in touchdown rate allowed in the red zone at just under 59%. All right, who has the edge? I'm going to go push at head coach. Now, hear me out, and if Niner fans are watching this, what the hell? It's Ben Johnson's first year. I'm talking about right here, right now, this year. Both these coaches have been unreal. Both these coaches have very strong cases for winning Coach of the Year, that being Ben Johnson and Kyle Shanahan. You could argue the winner of this game should be the favorite. Now, obviously, Liam Cohen, Mike Vrabel, they have strong cases as well. I'd say those 4 guys are the clear top 4 to win the award this year. Obviously, Shanahan has more skins on the wall. No one's disputing that. But I think we can fairly say 15 games into his first season, Ben Johnson knows what the hell he's doing. He's a smart play caller. He's a good game manager. He's been really good with timeouts and challenges this year. That's something he's actually been better at than Shanahan. So, yeah, I think right here, right now, it's a push. They're 2 of the top 5 or 6 in the NFL currently going. Okay, quarterback. You got to lean 49ers. Caleb's been good. He's trending up. But Purdy's just more consistent, and that's okay. Since the Carolina game, Brock's been really good. He's only played in 7 games this year. because he's missed some time with that turf toe injury, but been more consistent. Now, he has more turnovers in half the game, so I do think that is noteworthy. But the QB rating 102 to 90 or so, so he has certainly been the better player. Now, Caleb generates more explosives, has a more kind of explosive nature to his game. Purdy's more of a distributor, and when he's playing like that, he's tough to defend. I'm not saying I'd necessarily take Purdy long term. I'm just saying right now you'd have to give him the edge in this regard. All right, Week 17 is here. The 49ers report. They got a lead on us in new subscribers. I challenged them this week, and they have answered the bell. If you want free and daily Bears content, if you want to beat the San Francisco 49ers report and new subscribers, hit that subscribe button. They're at 301. We're at 219. Let's close the gap. Okay, skilled players. A little tough with the injury situation. When we're filming this earlier in the week, don't exactly know who's going to play. I think it's close enough. I'll leave it as a push. Rome Odunze, Luther Burden dealing with injuries. Luther could be trending up, and by the time you're watching this, maybe he's been cleared to play. George Kittle is Shanahan said on Wednesday he has a chance to play. We'll see how he progressed throughout the week. Ricky Pearsall, I doubt he plays either. I would lean Bears if both Rome and Luther were out there, but you could argue if both George Kittle and CMC are out there, they've got the two best players in the skill department. Now, you could say the Bears have more volume. They got DJ Moore. They have Luther Burden when he's healthy. Rome Odunze, two really good tight ends, whereas the Niners have one really good tight end, obviously the best one in George Kittle. So I'll leave it at push. I think it's pretty close, and the injuries kind of make it a blurrier picture as well. Okay, offensive line. Bears are better. Crazy to say, but, I think the Niners' O-line's been better the last few weeks, but Trent Williams is awesome, and the rest of that unit's kind of just okay. So Bears are more solid across the board, especially outside of left tackle. Okay, defensive line. I thought about actually giving the Bears the edge, but the 49ers, those two rookie defensive tackles are getting better, Alfred Collins and C.J. West. The Bears still go really long stretches at times without generating pressure. Now, the Niners don't get much pressure either, so this is a push, but not because both are really good, probably because both are a little bit underwhelming. Linebackers, I'll give the advantage to the Bears. Dean Winters had a pick six the other night. He's playing some good ball for the Niners, but the Bears have multiple good linebackers. Now we'll see what the injury situation is, but I would lean Chicago here, especially with Fred Warner out for the year. Secondary, I will also go with the Bears. Kevin Byard's having a great year. Jalen Johnson seems to be getting a little bit better each week as he's been making his way back from his long injury that cost him most of this season. We'll see what C.J. Gardner-Johnson's situation is, but you've also got Nashawn Wright. Jaquan Brisker's been playing, so I would lean the Bears in the secondary. And on paper, the Bears' defense is better. It is a better group when you factor in the injuries the 49ers have suffered. I mean, Fred Warner, Mykel Williams, Nick Bosa, it's a lot to overcome. So I would lean Chicago's defense being better overall and certainly better on paper, and they lead the NFL in takeaways. All right, we'll get to special teams in a second, but I do got to tell you guys about our awesome sponsor. That is PrizePicks. It's the holiday season, the best time of year for sports, bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It's all happening at once, and while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there's one place where it feels good to be right. That is PrizePicks. On PrizePicks, how you play is up to you. If you want flexibility, choose the flex play option where you can get paid even if one of your picks misses. And if you want the biggest payouts, go for the power play. No matter your play, PrizePicks is a great way to put your takes to the test. For this weekend, I got a little 3-player lineup. I like more on Caleb Williams' passing yards. He's been trending up in that area recently. Also, like Christian McCaffrey to score a touchdown, more than half rushing or receiving, doesn't matter. I think he gets in there, so give me the more on that. And then Colson Loveland, demon pick. I think he scores this week. I think the Niners linebackers can get caught in tough spots defending tight end, so I'll take Loveland to score. $20 to win $85. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use our code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Okay, special teams. Going to go with the 49ers. PFF keeps a season-long grading system for all special teams units. The Niners are first. Eddie Pinheiro, former Bears kicker, just missed for the first time, and it was from 64 on Monday night, and it hit the crossbar. So he's been automatic. Their punt game has been good, and they've just covered well. They've been excellent on special teams. The Bears have been good as well. 11th, they started really poorly, so that's been kind of slowly climbing up throughout the season. I think Richard Hightower's done a good job to get this group back on track. Torrey Taylor's been good, not great. Still looking for kind of that next jump, but he's had some good moments back-to-back weeks with a punt down inside the 5. Cairo's coming off probably his best game of the year, making some big kicks in tough conditions against the Packers, and the coverage units have been better. They haven't been consistently explosive in the return game, but Devin Duvernay has had his moments, and obviously they just recovered a huge onside kick, so 2 good special teams units. All right, let's get to some keys to victory now. I think defensively you got to carry over what you were able to accomplish in the red zone against the Packers. Kind of a bend, don't break style, give up yards between the 20s, tighten those windows up, and force field goals. Green Bay was 0 for 5 in the red zone. They kicked 4 field goals, I believe. Was it 4? No, it was actually 3. They fumbled the ball, and then they either missed a field goal or had another. Oh, they had a turnover on downs on that first drive. So turnover on downs, 3 field goals, Josh Jacobs fumble. That was their 5 red zone trips. So they got in there 5 times and only got 9 points out of it. It's going to be hard to do that again, but if you force more field goals than touchdowns, maybe get a takeaway in there, that would be really, really good, because I don't expect the Dennis Allen's defense, personnel-wise, to just shut down the Niners. The Niners have not punted since November. They had a bye week the first week in December. In their last 2 games, they have not punted once. Can you force a punt? That would be another good step based on how San Francisco's playing offensively. Okay, for the Bears offense, you got to attack the 49ers back 7. I think their linebackers can be had on those intermediate routes, and those corners can be had as well. I think this can be a game where Caleb Williams has a pretty strong outing, which he's been good the last 2.5 games or so. You look at their defense, they're 23rd in passing defense. They're giving up almost 230 yards per game through the air. Rushing defense, the Niners have actually been pretty good. They shut down Jonathan Taylor. They're 8th in the NFL. Now, I still fully expect the Bears to try to run the football with DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai, but Caleb Williams the past 10 quarters has been good. 6 touchdowns, no picks. Completion percentage still, around 60, maybe a tick below there, but a lot of explosives, a lot of big plays. Caleb's clutched up in big spots as well. I think this 2.5 game stretch has been one of his better stretches this season, and I think it's an opportunity for him to build off of that and continue to put up good numbers and have a strong outing this week. Okay, back to the defense. You've got to stop Christian McCaffrey on the ground. I do not expect to fully contain him as a player. He's going to make some plays, especially in the passing game. But before this past week, he had been kind of, I don't want to say ineffective, but inefficient running the football. And even now, it's still 3.7 yards per carry, despite having his best game of the year, in which he averaged 5.6 yards per carry against the Colts, which you see at the bottom of your screen. But they've struggled to consistently open up lanes for him. So if you're the Bears, you got to stop him on the ground first, because he's more dangerous as a receiver, and the 49ers as a team are more dangerous throwing the football. Now, if you make them one-dimensional, I still expect them to make some plays, but any offense that's forced to do one thing and not the other, you're going to have opportunities to make plays on them. So if you can force them to throw the ball consistently, you should have some opportunities for a takeaway or, a stop, that type of thing, because when the defense knows you have to throw, it's easier to defend. Now, McCaffrey is hard to defend, period, but especially as a receiver this year, he's been awesome. He's got an outside shot to reach 1,000-yard receiving, which would be awesome for him in his career. Hopefully the Bears are, slowing down that pace, if you will, this week in terms of trying to limit Christian McCaffrey as a player in general. But, again, I think at first, stop him on the ground first. You limit him in the running game, force them to throw consistently. I think the Bears have a pretty good shot here. Okay, back to the offense. I think this is a tight ends game. I think this is a heavy dose to Colson Loveland, Cole Kmet. Tyler Warren had some opportunities, and Phillip Rivers missed him a couple times. But I mentioned earlier, these linebackers, I think you can get going on these crossers, these digs. I think Cole Kmet, Colson Loveland could have big games. The 49ers just don't have great personnel in their back 7. So I expect those 2 guys, especially Loveland, to have opportunities to get open and make some plays. You could also see guys like Olamide Zaccheaus on those short intermediate routes really feast as well. So I think that is an area through the air to attack this defense, that kind of 0 to 15-yard range down the field. And then the theme of the week is clinch the number 2 seed. You're already in the playoffs. That was step 1. You win this game, you clinch the 2 seed, which also means you win the division. The Bears could have the division won by the time they kick off on Sunday if the Packers lose on Saturday, so keep an eye on that. But if you win just one of your final 2, you clinch at least the 2 seed, and it would be nice to have that accomplished before Week 18 when you take on the Detroit Lions. Because even if the Lions are out, Dan Campbell would love nothing more than to spoil the Bears' chances of having a home playoff game. Because remember, if the Bears lose their final 2 games and the Packers win theirs, they win the division, and the Bears would have to be playing on the road and through the wild card. So job is not finished in terms of maximizing the Bears' season in terms of playoff seeding. Obviously been an awesome season regardless, but let's get at least one more win. You get one more win, you're guaranteed 2 home playoff games if you win your first one. Because if you're the 2 seed, you'll play at home in the wild card round, and you would also play at home in the divisional round as well if you win in the wild card, which would be just awesome for this franchise. All right, predict the score. Bears, Niners, who wins, and what is the final score going to be? Let us know in the comment section below who wins and why. I've really struggled with this one. I think the Niners certainly played better last week, but I think when you factor in the rest advantage, I think the Bears are going to be able to score points. I like the Bears in a shootout. Give me Chicago 34-31. I think this is going to be a fun game. I think both teams are going to light up the scoreboard, and I think the Bears, due to attrition, fatigue, they'll be the stronger team late, and they will find a way to go and win this game, whether it's Caleb with the game-winning touchdown drive down 3 or 4, or whether it's Cairo with the game-winning kick. I think they will emerge at the end of the game. They will leave the stadium as the 2 seed and with an outside shot at being the 1 seed heading into Week 18. All right, that's going to do it for this Bears-Niners preview. Be sure to join us live on Sunday night, 6 o'clock Central Time, for our pregame festivities, and we will stay live throughout the game as well for our Bears 49ers watch party. Should be a lot of fun. Subscribe, and we'll see you then.